Hey, what's going on, guys? JTK here. Welcome back to another video. In this one today, we are going to be doing another top 10 video. And this one, it's going to be ranking the top 10 best pistols in Call of Duty Zombies from World at War to Cold War. Now, with pistols, it works a little bit different than other guns like ARs and snipers and whatnot, because those guns serve a purpose in either dealing high damage or giving you points. Pistols are kind of somewhere in between, really. Most of them protect you, but a lot of them also just help with getting points or are very fast shooting and whatnot. So the criteria for this list is going to be a little bit different, because the full potential of a pistol, I believe, doesn't get fully unlocked until you pack-a-punch it. So for our three criteria, we have one, its effectiveness when it's not pack-a-punch, so how much damage it deals, if it's good at making points and whatnot, just overall effectiveness unpack-a-punched. Two, it's going to be the effectiveness with pack-a-punch after you're done pack-a-punching it. So after you pack-a-punch it, like for example the Mustang and Sally, it's not really a good gun unpack-a-punch, but when you do pack-a-punch it, it does become a very good gun. And three, overall just accessibility, like is it easy to get out of the box, or do you spawn in with it, or can you just, I don't know, buy it off the wall or something like that. Then all three of those criteria, in my opinion, is what makes a good, reliable pistol. And with those criteria out of the way, let's just jump right into it. Alright, and coming in at our number 10 spot, we have the B23R from Black Ops 2. Now, the B23R is a very reliable gun that can help you get through the early rounds in Black Ops 2, probably about rounds 1 to 5, I would say. It's also in a really good spot. The transit bus, it kind of just signifies how this gun is supposed to just be an early round save me weapon that you can just pick up, get some easy points, get some easy kills, and then you kind of just forget about it afterwards. And that's kind of the problem that I have with it, is that when it's pack-a-punched, it's not really that effective, really. It's kind of just there so that you can get some early points, easy accessibility, and really good and solid as just a starting weapon, but you're not going to be using it in the later rounds. So for that, I'm going to put it at the number 10 spot. Alright, and coming in at our number 9 spot, we have the RK5 from Black Ops 3. Now, the RK5 from Black Ops 3, it's pretty much the younger brother from the B23R. They do pretty much the same thing, both 3-round burst pistols. I do like the RK5 a little bit more because it has a little bit more effectiveness. When you pack-a-punch it, you also get weapon kits on Black Ops 3, which does give it a little bit of an advantage. But it does just kind of serve the same thing that the B23R does in Black Ops 2, where it is a very helpful gun to get you through the early rounds, but afterwards you don't really ever pick it up again. So for that, it does belong in the number 9 spot. And coming in at our number 8 spot, we have the classic M1911. Now, with the M1911, it's very accessible because obviously you spawn in with it, and for that, it does go up a lot higher in terms of accessibility. Where it does falter, though, is in the early round gameplay. It's not really good unpack-a-punched. You spawn in with it, so it's obviously not going to be a really reliable weapon past like round 3, I would say. But if you do keep it and pack-a-punch it, you get Mustang and Sally's, which is a great reward to try and keep a bad gun for that long. And for that, it does make it better than the RK5 and the B23R, in my opinion. So for that, it is going to be in the number 8 spot. Alright, coming in at our number 7 spot, we have the Mauser C96 from Origins in Black Ops 2. Now, the Mauser, it's pretty much just the same concept as the M1911. Obviously, not very useful in the starting rounds, but over time, it has actually improved a ton in terms of its pack-a-punched. I would say in like 2018, I would probably put the Boom Hilda below the M1911, but after the new speedrunning strat with using it as like a speedway across the map has been figured out, I would say it is better than the M1911 when pack-a-punched. It's pretty much just like a laser beam, better than the ray gun in my opinion, which is odd to say about a pistol that you can just pack-a-punch. But I would say it is a little bit more accessible than the M1911 too, because you can dig it up from the dig sites on Origins, which is very helpful. And for that, I do think it is better than the M1911, and for that, I am going to be putting it at the number 7 spot. Alright, now coming in at our number 6 spot, we have the Strife pistol from Black Ops 4. Now, the Strife pistol, what makes this better than anything else that we have discussed so far is that the Strife, you can put the stiletto knife attachment on it. And that makes it better than pretty much any of the other weapons that we've talked about so far, because it instantly just makes it a lot more viable in the early rounds. You can also use it in the later rounds as well. On 9, when you get it from doing the challenges and whatnot, it is actually still a very useful weapon, and I usually get that first before I start doing all the Pack-a-Punch challenges around the map to get the Pack-a-Punch open. It's just a very helpful weapon overall. I'm not going to place it that much higher though, because again, its Pack-a-Punch effect, even though useful, isn't as good as some of these other Pack-a-Punch weapons or base weapons coming up on this list. So for that, I'm going to leave it at number 6. Alright, now coming in at our number 5 spot, we have the Python from Black Ops 2. Now the Python, it's just a very satisfying gun to use overall. Accessibility is a little bit lacking because you have to get it out of the box, which does kind of suck and kind of drop it down a little bit for me. But it is a fun gun to use. You can pretty much just kill anything with it on the early rounds. I would say it is one of the most effective pistols in terms of damage on the early rounds, so that's kind of where it shines. Also, when you Pack-a-Punch it, it doesn't really get too bad either. It still is very reliable, and I would even use it up until like the late 30s. And for that, I do think it does deserve the number 5 spot. Alright, now coming in at our number 4 spot, however, is the Remington from Buried. This is a Buried specific weapon, and it's pretty much just the Python, but you can reload with it a lot easier. It's also just a lot cooler in my opinion. I'm pretty sure they have the exact same stats in terms of like damage and ammo and whatnot, but I just prefer the Remington a little bit better. The reload is just a lot better. You don't have to reload one bullet at a time. You can just reload the entire magazine, get back into the action, do all that, and it is just a really cool gun in general, and it really fits in with the Buried theme and whatnot. So for that, I do think it is definitely better than the Python and is deserving of the number 4 spot. Alright, now moving into the top 3 pistols of all time in zombies, we have the Marshalls from Black Ops 3. Now the dual-wield Marshalls from Black Ops 3, they aren't really good at killing a large amount of zombies, so to say, but they are very useful in killing bosses and whatnot. The Thrashers on Zetsubo are definitely a hassle, but when you have the Marshalls, they can just instantly delete. They are also really fun to use, and when Pack-a-Punch, it makes it a lot better because you don't have to constantly reload all the time with them after each shot. You can just shoot a couple rounds, everything in front of you is dead. Really good to train with, and overall just really good. And for that, I'm going to give it the number 3 spot. Alright, now coming into our number 2 spot, we have the Executioner from Black Ops 2. Now the Executioner, it just deletes anything in front of it. It's very reliable in the early rounds when you just have it unpack-a-punched. It does take a while to reload, however, which is a little bit annoying. Another thing that is a little bit annoying is that the accessibility isn't really there. You have to get it out of the box, which does kind of suck. But when you do get this thing pack-a-punch and you get it with Double Tap 2.0, you could probably go into like the late 40s, maybe even early 50s with this gun if you really wanted to. You can delete anything in front of you because it shoots like a shotgun, so it is incredibly good for hoarding and whatnot. You can just use it the entire time if you're just running a train, and for that, I do think it is the best kind of training weapon that you can run with because it's also very lightweight because it's a pistol. So for that, I'm going to be giving it the number 2 spot. But coming in at our number 1 spot, I'm pretty sure not many people know about these guns either because they did release really late into Cold War season. It's the AMP-63s, when you get them dual-wield, of course. When you put in the dual-wield attachment, I do think these are the best pistols. The mobility is great. The accessibility is there because you can spawn in with them on Cold War. It is very good unpack-a-punch, especially after you do the super Easter eggs, and you can get the blue rarity or the purple rarity depending on how many Easter eggs you do. And when you do pack-a-punch them, they are still super reliable into getting you into the higher rounds. They're fully automatic. They feel like SMGs, but they're classified as pistols, which is a little bit weird. But because of that simple fact, it is kind of a gun that you can just use at any time because it does have that full automatic. It's the only pistol that I can think of on the top of my head that does. So for that, I do think the AMPs from Cold War are the best pistols in my opinion. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up this video for today. I'm sure a lot of you were pretty shocked about number 1. I know a lot were probably going to think it was probably going to be like something simple like the M1911 or the Executioner or whatnot. But I do think that some of the Cold War guns out there are super underrated because people only use the Gallo and the M16. Besides the point though, if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe. Do all that, obviously. Leave a comment if you want to see me do anything else. And I have nothing else to say, so peace.